a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams. Always helping you as a consumer advocate, making you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 10 years on air now, and real excited about a lot of the growth around the team and the show. We got Bruce Woodburn back on the show as well, the Lone Ranger, and he is Crosscountry Mortgage. We're going to talk about latest real estate trends, what's happening out there, and reasons why you want to get off the fence and get into real estate. It's still a great time to be buying. So we're going to talk with him, as well as Alex Black Belt Lima on the program. We're going to talk about self-defense and some other topics, local current events as well. And Nick Schreiber, Decorating Elves, coming up on the program today as well. So before we do, a couple of hot listings here. We always like to feature our real estate properties live on air as part of our strategy to help sellers sell faster for more money. 13232 Blissfield Road in Odessa, Florida. This is a new listing that we've got here. Odessa is a really cool area. A lot of people love that Odessa area. It's kind of growing north, a lot of Pasco and North Hillsborough County. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. 1852 square feet. This is an expansive 33.33 acre lot. Spacious living area as well as proportioned bedrooms. Generously sized front porch. Limitless possibilities for outdoor activities as well. Positioned strategically to the forthcoming Odessa Town Center plan, and ambitious development poised to redefine the area's landscape. Conveniently located off a gun highway, 1 mile from Hillsborough County, 1 block from State Road 54. So it's a great opportunity. Lots of close proximity to shopping and other food. 13232 Blissfield Road in Odessa, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Great opportunity to own real estate here in beautiful Tampa Bay. 9749 Little Bluestem Drive. This is another property that we've got listed here. It's a 2-story home, Little Bluestem Drive in Land O'Lakes, Florida. 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, 2334 square feet. This is a 2-story home in the coveted Connerton community. The kitchen boasts a spacious island, ample counter space, abundant cabinets, and a walk-in pantry. The owner's suite features an ensuite with dual vanities, soaking tub, and a separate walk-in shower. Large backyard with a sheltered rear porch enclosed by a privacy fence. And the community offers dual pools. You got a lap pool and also a splash pad for the kids. And office, you have miles of trails, on-site elementary school as well. Check out 9749 Little Bluestem Drive, Land O'Lakes, Florida. And you can see all of our real estate properties at PlatinumCoastalElite.com. All right. Let's go to the phone lines now. We got Bruce Woodburn on the show, back on the show. And he is better known as the Lone Ranger.
Hey, man, thank you so much for having me join you on the show today, Brandon. You are a machine in the area. I'm telling you, I love working with you and your team. Lindsay runs a fine shop over there, doesn't she?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Definitely blessed and highly favored to have such a great team. And we were just looking at some of the market numbers. The market's down, I think it was like 8.1%, 9.1% year over year, and our team is up 11%. So, yeah, we're excited to have a team and excited to be working with you as well.
Well, I'm excited to be working with you. Matter of fact, we just rescued a veteran, and I'm telling you, it's always great for you and I to jump in and help somebody that served in our armed forces and needs a helping hand. So that's great to work with. You know what? I'm finding, Brandon, in the market right now that although there are homes to find, there's not a lot of inventory, but sellers are getting more aggressive with helping the buyer in terms of closing costs and other incentives. Are you seeing quite a bit of that as well?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I was just mentioning, too, we had our home stager on the show, Patrick Furlow, Step by Stage, and he was talking about staging, and we were talking about the topic of what you just mentioned is sellers today, even though it's low inventory, sellers have to be pliable. They have to be willing to adjust, and home staging was one, but also talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing on your side as far as how you can utilize seller incentives to help with the rate and things of that nature.
So it's interesting. We're all hearing the term buy down, and we've typically thought about a buy down as, hey, you pay some points and you get a little bit lower rate. Well, that's a permanent buy down, and there's no point in doing a permanent buy down when you're probably going to refinance within 24 months. It doesn't make sense. So what we do is a seller-funded buy down. So you can do a 2-1 buy down, a 1-1 buy down, a 3-2-1 buy down, a 1-0 buy down. And what that really means for your consumers, the seller provides the incentive for you to reduce the interest rate on your loan for a temporary period of time. So I'll give you an example. Let's just take a 450 property. Buyer's putting down 5% conventional loan. Let's just say rates are running 7 3/4. Well, that gives that buyer a 5 3/4 rate for the first 12 months, and then a 6 3/4 rate for the second 12 months. Now, by that time, we think the election's going to be right there, and we're going to see better interest rates, so it's time to refi. But in the event that rates drop before that, the money that's in the escrow account that the seller funded is your money to use for your refinance. So you can't lose. And if we get a seller to pick up 3% on a 450 property, that's $13,500, and it only costs you $10,293 for the buy down on a 450 purchase price. So you got an extra $3,300 to use towards closing costs.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you mind if I give out my phone number here?
Please do.
Okay, you can reach the loan arranger, also on the bone with Brandon. And I tell you, I love being on the show. I love having him as a guest. But you can call me directly right now at 813-213-4009. That's 813-213-4009. Or go directly to my website. You can start right there. It's easy at WeBringYouHome.com. Purchase, refinance, home equity lines, you name it, we got it.
WeBringYouHome.com. Bruce Woodburn here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And Bruce, you bring up a good point, because a lot of times when folks are thinking about purchasing, they're getting caught up in some of these details, but they don't really know exactly what it is. If you think about it from this perspective, yes, there's low inventory, but you also, if you look at homes and you look at properties, even if it's a condo or townhome, and you're looking at properties, there's a lot of negotiation to be had there. I think there's going to be some sellers that are going to say, hey, you know what, we've been on the market, the days on market are up. We know that days on market are enemy to a home's value. So I think a lot of the sellers are going to be willing to take offers and going to be willing to negotiate. And then you also can talk about, maybe realtors being able to help incentivize in the deal too.
Well, and you don't always have to lower your price either. I mean, it doesn't mean, hey, seller, drop your price, drop the price, drop the price. No, let's entertain helping the buyer just be more palatable with the payment, because it's not really the interest rate; it's the payment that the buyers are feeling right now,
right?
And it's the cash to close, right?
Yep.
So, and that's why people hire you and I, so that we can help them navigate through these times and experience the best you can in a market like this. Because here, listen, at the end of the day, this is the market that's going to benefit a buyer more than any. Because as soon as rates drop, you're going to see these prices skyrocket. So I'm highly advising people, take advantage of the market. I'll refinance your loan when the rates drop. No lender fees at all. No lender fees when you use the loan arranger.
Yeah, I love that idea, because you're able to, at that point, to go into a deal and buy the home that you want now, and then still, you can work some of the incentives that we just talked about, but then, refinance later. Now, I like that idea of being able to you've heard this phrase where they say, date the rate, but
yep.
what is that? Buy the rate down.
Yep.
You're buying the rate down.
Date the rate, marry the house.
Marry the house. That's right. So you're buying the home. That's your lifelong home. You love it. But then, that rate can be changed later on. Plus, you can also do these bi-weekly payments.
And if you think about this.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to talk about how if you do a biweekly payment, you're also effectively paying less on the rate.
You're paying less interest.
Right.
Yeah, you're paying less interest over the life of the loan. But you think about this: if you had a 7 3/4% rate right now, and you can call it whatever you want, 7.5%, 7 3/4, 8%. If it drops by 2%, 2 percentage points, that saves you, when you refi, $568 a month. That's
Yeah.
a huge discount. But people think, Brandon, well, why don't I just wait for it to drop? I have a cost of waiting calculator that I show my clients, and you'd be shocked at how much it's costing you by waiting. Even if we only have a 3% appreciation rate, the cost of money by waiting, by renting, is not getting you anywhere. Matter of fact, it'll cost you over $69,000 to wait this market out 24 months.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
a lot of money.
Absolutely. And also, let's talk a little bit about the renter side, too. Too many people are still renting. They're in a position where, they're spending a lot more on their housing expense than they should be. And if they could get into the home ownership place, the home ownership is going to be a key element for building equity, building wealth, tax implications, and just the idea of having that security of not having your rent raised or worse, getting evicted, within a moment's notice, right? A 30-day notice.
Well, even over and above that.
Sorry?
Yeah, even in addition to that, though, if you're a responsible renter, you're not going to be evicted unless the seller decides to sell. But even if you're paying $3,000 a month, okay, so $3,000 a month is probably about average in your area for maybe a 3-2. Okay, an apartment alone is going to cost you $2,300, $2,500 for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. So let's just say it's $3,000 a month for a house. That's $36,000 a year that you have nothing to show for. Absolutely nothing to show for.
Yep.
Now, you take that on a house, you got principal reduction, you got some appreciation, even in a flat market, you got some appreciation, and you got principal reduction. You add the loss of rent to the principal reduction, and you will find that your loss is somewhere close to $70,000 on a 450 house. And I'll show you the math. You can look at the numbers. It makes sense to own. There's never been a rich renter that I've ever met.
Yeah, and if that using that $36,000 a year example, that's $186,000 in 5 years, and it's $360,000 in 10 years. Almost, you're getting close to $500 million, or $500,000 rather, that you're paying in rent, where you could be building up equity, building up the lifestyle. And you know how it is. You're going to be investing in that home over the years. You're going to be, maybe putting some pavers in different places, or adding a fence, adding some landscaping. You're going to be improving that, and then you're going to have the appreciation
Well, there's always
of time.
pride of ownership, right?
Yeah, exactly. The love of home ownership, the appreciation. And then you're going to have the appreciation as well. So, Bruce, what are some of the common misnomers? What do you get as like, hey, this is a common question. I can't believe people are still, kind of caught up in that 20% down payment or whatever, right? I mean, what are you seeing most?
I hear that some people don't realize you don't have to put 20% down, but you don't. But here's the common misnomer that I hear right now, and many of our listeners might even be thinking this. So, don't take offense by this, but this is it. I'm waiting for housing prices to drop.
Right.
Okay. So let's just take that segment right there and address that issue. First of all, do you believe in supply and demand? Do you believe when there's not enough supply and the demand is high, the prices will rise? Well, if you do, that's what we're experiencing in real estate right now. But there's more. Do you believe we're experiencing inflation? Do you see it when you fill up your gas? Do you see it when you go to the grocery store? Do you see it everywhere around you? Are you feeling that there's less money at the end of the month? Well, that's inflation. So you have inflation and you have a lack of inventory and you have high demand. You can't have housing prices drop. It's not possible. Now, granted, if we went into a huge war, could that happen? But I don't think that's going to happen, even though there's turbulent times. Look, we are in a healthy industry. I've made more money as a 10th grade dropout. I've made more money in real estate than I ever thought I'd ever have in my entire life. It's been good to me, and I like helping people that want to experience that same success.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're talking with Bruce Woodburn here, the Lone Arranger. WeBringYouHome.com. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, and we're talking about real estate, talking about the market. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back more with Bruce Woodburn coming up here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at Brandon Rhymes1, at CQB Show, and do us a big favor. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. All those subscriptions really help the algorithm, and it really helps us out a lot. We appreciate that. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 727-263-3707. Online at consumerqb.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
I want to give a special thanks to Satellite Phone Store. They just hooked me up with this beautiful satellite phone, and it's a gorgeous phone. It's a great device. It's a safety device as well. Think about it. If you're out on the boat 40, 50 miles out, maybe you're going hunting or you're going hiking in the woods somewhere, you run out of cell phone service, or who knows, maybe a possible terrorist attack. It's not like our politicians aren't entrenched in all this stuff going on overseas, all over the place, all over the world. Could be a terrorist attack. They could attack the power grid. They could attack the cell phones. Who knows what they're going to attack next? Sat123.com/REQB. Sat for satellite. Sat123.com/REQB, like real estate quarterback.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. We greatly appreciate you spending some time with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And thank you so much for supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our show partners. 40-plus different show partners, CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, self-defense experts, yachting experts, private airline industry, private jets, self-defense. So many ways we can help you here. ConsumerQB.com is your #1 resource there, ConsumerQB.com. And, of course, you can call us on our hotline as well. A couple of hot listings for this segment here. We've got a property at 2705 Via Murano. This is unit number 116 in Clearwater. This is a beautiful property, condo, community pool, exquisite Tommy Bahama furniture inside as well. Beautiful layout. 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 980 square feet. 2705 Via Murano, unit number 116 in Clearwater. You got granite countertops, blend of laminate and tile flooring, custom ceiling fan, spacious tub shower, that is, fully equipped kitchen facility, screen lanai, and the heated swimming pool, sauna, and spa tub as well. And the community has a 24/7 guard gate, a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 980 square feet, 2705 Via Murano, unit number 116 in Clearwater, Florida. One of our hot real estate listings from the Platinum MVP team. 7300 Shoreline Boulevard in Weeki Wachee. This is a really cool opportunity. We've got a motel for sale here in Weeki Wachee, Florida. This is Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee. It's over $1 million. Commercial opportunity, residential lot included, 5 fully furnished waterfront suites, all kayaks furnishings included. It's situated on a double lot in a serene location with river access right from the dock. You've got 60 feet of prime waterfront on the Weeki Wachee River. This is Weeki Wachee Springs is close to Pine Island Beach, has a community of local restaurants, bars, live music, and pristine sunsets. The possibilities are infinite. And currently operating as a popular superhost on Airbnb, destination, Manatee Landing, everyday retreat of the properties. Weeki Wachee, Florida, a small town in the Gulf Coast. 7300 Shoreline Boulevard, Weeki Wachee. And you can see all of our listings at Platinum Coastal Elite. PlatinumCoastalElite.com. That's PlatinumCoastalElite.com.
Try that in a small town. See how far you make it down.
All right, so we got Bruce Woodburn here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Loan Arranger, WeBringYouHome.com is his site. And Bruce, I was just looking at a poll here. This is a poll from Bankrate, and it says 52% of adults are choosing to forego travel over the winter holidays, says this new survey. That's in part to the added strain borrowers face with the restart of student loan payments, in addition to soaring interest rates, and it's leaving consumers weary of discretionary spending. For those making between $50,000 and $80,000 a year, roughly 35% said they are still concerned holiday travel will strain their budgets. And yep, it's a concern for a lot of people right now, Bruce.
Well, it absolutely is. But you know what? We went through COVID, and I think people overspent. I think they spent too much on their credit cards. We were sitting at home in our pajamas on a Zoom camera, and people just got a little bit, fat and lazy, I think. And we were all making money. We thought it would be a recession, and everybody was, the economy was going crazy, awesome during that time period for most people. Not for everybody, but for most people. Some people got laid off because their businesses shut down, but they overspent. They spent too much on their credit card. You know what? I don't think they forgot that habit, and now they're starting to pay for it. And I'm seeing a lot of people, oddly enough, Brandon, 30% of mortgages in the United States of America in September of 2023 were cash-out refinances. Why would anybody want to do a cash-out refinance when you probably got a 3.5% or a 4.5% fixed rate?
Wow.
Then they overspent. Their credit cards are through the roof. They're hitting 25%. They went and bought a $750 a month car payment, and husband and wife both have one. It just got too much. But the good news is they bought, they got a bunch of equity. So now we can consolidate that debt. So what I'm doing with folks right now that are in that position today is we're evaluating which is better for you. A HELOC in second lien position that will ultimately like to refinance, or you can accelerate the payoff, or refinance it. But people don't want to refinance because they got that 3.5% rate.
Right.
But you got to be careful. You got to look at the whole picture, and that's why my team is here to evaluate it and determine for you. Don't let a bank or mortgage company sell you. Look at the options, HELOC versus refinance, and we'll help you come to that conclusion at WeBringYouHome.com.
Yeah, and that's a good point you make too, Bruce. When you think about where we're at, credit card debt, record all-time highs, record low savings on the flip side of that. So we're saving the least amount of money. Credit card debt's the highest. You got student loans coming back, inflation through the roof. A lot of challenges there. Of course, fuel prices, cost of heating the home. A lot of challenges there. But so you want to weigh that option: a home equity line versus a complete refinance. Those that have equity are going to be able to reap those rewards. 35 seconds. Back to you, my friend.
Yeah, well, listen, I truly appreciate if you are looking to buy or sell a home in anywhere in the Tampa area, you got to call Brandon and his team. Unbelievable people. I highly endorse them. I use them myself on my own home. He relies on me to make sure that his clients are well taken care of. He's got a big reputation, so the Loan Arranger is right there to help you. Bruce Woodburn, Crosscountry Mortgage, 35 years in the business. And you can reach me at 813-213-4009 or WeBringYouHome.com.
Awesome. Good stuff, Bruce. Appreciate that. WeBringYouHome.com. Check out Bruce's site. Does a great job. He's got a great team. They follow up, they follow through, and they do a great job. Bruce, appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, taking a quick break. Coming back, Nick Shriver, Decorating Elves on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also coming up, Alex Black Belt Lima on the Consumer Quarterback Show coming up here in just a moment. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRhymes1, at CQB Show, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be right back.
Thanks for listening.